Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, the time for denial and passing the buck seems to have ended. The Supreme Court, in its most piercing criticism of the centre, has raised 10 very, very relevant questions. Questions for which they want answers, as do 135 crore Indians. In fact, nobody is questioning the intent of the government here. Yes, this is a pandemic. This is a very big national emergency on the health front. But there are several issues that really need to be attended to, should have been attended to, but so far, as citizens, we have no answers why they are not being looked at. Yes, the government has been elected to govern, but when there is a slip between the cup and the lip, there have to be answers. Because Janta mange jawab, especially if the slip costs lakhs of Indians to pay with their lives. Here's what the top court today asked the government to answer. What are the curbs the centre is imposing to stop spread of the virus? How long are they going to be really applied? What kind of curbs there will be? Is there a national policy on these curbs? What's the mechanism to display allocation of supply of various drugs as well as oxygen to various states? What is being done to increase the availability of tankers and cylinders for the transportation of oxygen? How much supply of oxygen and medical aid is expected from abroad? What is the plan to vaccinate those who cannot register on the CoWIN app? Are centres and states planning to hold the vaccine drive for crematorium staff? Why is the centre not buying 100% of the stock of vaccinations for fair distribution to states? What is the rationale for differential pricing for vaccine procurement? Is there any uniform admission policy for all hospitals across the country? And of course, the payment policies, the insurance policies. Is there anything of the sort? The Supreme Court has asked, will the centre use powers under the Patents Act for compulsory licensing of vaccines? Frankly, several nodal ministers have been obfuscating these questions, and it has now taken the Supreme Court to put the government on the notice, and now we hope they will have no choice but to answer. And if this wasn't enough, the court also warned states against clamping down on free flow of information on social media. Excuse me. In fact, if you look at social media, many people are extending their help, putting out information, telling them sources of where to get oxygen cylinders, concentrators, and in some states like Uttar Pradesh, there have been people who've been arrested for putting out SOS calls which are called to be fake. And the Supreme Court today has said, excuse me, no such action can be taken against anybody who is putting out an SOS call on the social media. But all of this said, the observations throwing up a flip side on the debate. When the Supreme Court decided to take suo motu action on this, there are many who talked about the Supreme Court entering into areas of administration and governance which they had no business to do. And in fact, some of them said that the high courts in states were fully empowered to take these decisions. Why was Supreme Court paralyzing all of these actions to be taken by state governments? So these eminent personalities who gave the Supreme Court move on the 22nd of April as a political move by the Supreme Court today are celebrating the fact that the court has raised questions to the central government. The big legitimate question on the News Hour tonight is just one. Is the Janta in India now dependent on courts rather than netas who they elect? That's the question and the debate on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And joining me tonight, Nupur Sharma, spokesperson of the BJP. I'm also joined by Ishkaran Bhandari, he's a lawyer and advocate. Also Riju Datta of the Trinamool Congress. Reena Gupta joining us from the Aam Aadmi Party. Tehseen Poonawalla, he's a political analyst. And my friend Shehzad Poonawalla joining this debate. And I want to ask you tonight, Nupur Sharma, the courts have had to step in. And the courts are asking simple questions which should have been answered by the government on day one. Why should there be a differential policy in pricing? Why should the centre buy vaccines at 150 rupees, state governments at 300 rupees and private hospitals at 600 rupees for Covishield and a completely different pricing of Covaxin? You've said open up, liberalize the vaccination policy. Nobody knows who's going to procure what and when and from where, because the manufacturers say they have contracted their quantities of production to the centre till at least the mid of May. So why was 1st of May kept as the date when vaccinations would be open? These are questions that should have been transparently answered on day one, for which the Supreme Court has to now come in and raise questions to be transparent with the citizens of India. I want to ask you, Nupur, this is an unprecedented crisis in the country. We understand that. But the fact is, what is it that we are doing apart from political bickering and trying to set a narrative in order to solve the problems that the common man is facing?
Well, good evening, Navika. I would like to start by paying my tributes to one of your own Hindi channel, a news anchor, and a very popular one at that. I myself have known him for almost a decade and a half, and it's truly sad what has happened. And now I want to come to the point. You need to understand
our condolences to his family
and his little girls,
of Rohit Sardana. Yes.
Navika,
absolutely, we stand in solidarity with one of our colleagues.
Yeah. Navika, let's just try and understand the context and the gist of the Honorable Supreme Court taking so much cognizance of the entire matter. It was done by now former Chief Justice of India, Mr. Bote, wherein 6 different high courts were taking 6 different viewpoints regarding the allocation and supplication of the medicinal LMO that was available in the country. And some certain observations were also made, which is something that the Supreme Court has also observed against today. This is the reason why the Honorable Supreme Court took so much cognizance, because the central government is equally answerable to every state that it's required to allocate certain medical necessities such as LMO and other things. Now, since you do bring about the question of vaccine, well, multiple times and repetitively, state governments have repeatedly asked that they be given control of vaccination drives. Certainly, you would understand and also appreciate it is not on the central government to decide pricing. It is for the manufacturers, and for that answer, you should ask the spokesperson of both Bharat Biotech and the Serum Institute of India as to what went behind pricing the vaccines the way they did. It is plainly and simply placed, just the way that the central government is procuring 50% of the vaccinations, which is something that we are going to redistribute amongst the states. We are not going to open up a museum or stock them at 6A DDU Marg or elsewhere. It is not for show. We would be procuring and distributing as we have been since 16 January. And you do know that India has crossed 16 crore vaccinations via the central government's current ongoing scheme of redistributing among states. That very scheme is going to continue for over 45-year-olds. Now, since the state government demanded, we have state health department. It's a state subject under the constitution.
I want to know, Nupur Sharma, when is the last time that you have been so accommodating to what the states have demanded? The states also demanded that the farmers, the agriculture laws that had been brought in should be put, into the cold storage. They should, be declared null and void. They should be. You didn't listen to the states at that point in time. How come on this issue? And that's the question I want to raise with Reena Gupta. Reena Gupta,
I will answer
is this? Is this a convenient?
This?
All right.
Can I please answer this?
Yes, Nupur.
The farm laws were concurrent list laws. And if you must know, of course, Punjab was one state which said we are going to go to the Supreme Court. Now, whether that's in limbo or not, and by the way, how many states did actually announce that we don't want these laws? In fact, Arvind Kejriwal went on record to gazette these very laws and did a drama few days later in the Vidhan Sabha of tearing some piece of paper. Well, who forced you to gazette these laws if you were so against them? Please, not all states went against. These are concurrent list laws, and they have every right to go to the courts. I want to know, and I want to find out how many state governments actually went to the Honorable Supreme Court against these laws.
So while the farmer issue is one thing which is still standing out, it is something that still needs to be resolved. The fact is, on the issue of this health crisis, you're again willing to take your chances with what opposition parties have to say. Well, that clearly shows just how very concerned you are about citizens' welfare. And let me get in Reena Gupta. Reena Gupta, it is all about politics. The Delhi government too points fingers at the centre. The Delhi government forgets that there is a Supreme Court the observation against them as well. And if I can read out that particular observation by the Supreme Court against the Delhi government, it says, we want you to convey the message to the highest authority that there should be a sense of cooperation with the centre at this humanitarian crisis. We don't want political bickering at the time of a crisis. Politics is at the time of elections. There has to be a sense of cooperation at this point. A spirit of dialogue. Saving lives is the priority. Reena Gupta, which government has shown this spirit of dialogue, this spirit of cooperation to actually find a solution to people's crisis rather than scoring political brownie points?
So, Navika, let me also read out something else that the Supreme Court said today. The Supreme Court clearly made a very strong observation saying that for the centre, you are the national authority and you are responsible for the national capital. You are answerable. Point number one. 35. Point number two, I'm very glad that Nupur brought up the issue of concurrent list. It's amazing how blatantly they go back and forth depending on what suits them. Infectious disease, another area which is in the concurrent list, which means that the vaccination should be procured by the central government, supplied to the states as has been done for the last 70 years in the history of this country. The Supreme Court very clearly said today, and I quote, the vaccine is a publicly funded and hence it becomes public good. The centre should procure all of it. The vaccine pricing should not be left to the manufacturers as they are not positioned to determine the equity and vaccine pricing. Nowhere in the world.
But Reena Gupta, the question is that many state governments had questioned the centre's stranglehold over the vaccine policy, over the drug policy, over every fact that even lockdowns, last year were being imposed by the centre. In fact, your own MLA, Shoaib Iqbal, has come out and said today that there is no government in Delhi because no MLA has been called for a meeting with the Chief Minister, no suggestions, no plan for what should be done for Delhi. It's all very well to say that the centre should do everything. पर सेंटर अगर कर रहा है सब कुछ और करना चाहिए उनको, तो फिर आम आदमी पार्टी रोज इस पर पॉलिटिक्स क्यों खड़ा करती है?
I am not saying the centre needs to do everything. The centre needs to ensure that there's enough vaccine for every citizen of the country. Point number one, the centre needs
to ensure... But there isn't.
So absolutely.
But Reena Gupta, vaccines are in short supply.
The central government was sleeping all this while. Why was, the experts have been telling them that there's going to be a second wave. The world over, the governments were signing contracts for procuring vaccines for their own citizens. Why was the central government sleeping, number one? Why was it exporting vaccine? And now when they're realizing that there is no vaccine, very conveniently they have remembered that...
So Ishkaran Bhandari, Arvind Kejriwal and his team in the Aam Aadmi Party will not take any part of the blame. It's all Modi and Amit Shah's problem. They have created it. They have to sort out. Is that the view that can be taken and believed by people?
Navika, firstly, I want to say something. Everybody has family members or friends battling COVID in a serious way. And my prayers for all of them. And what the Supreme Court has done today, I am thankful to the Supreme Court and the High Courts which have stepped in. There are documented shortages of oxygen, beds, ICU, and people are suffering. So the argument which some people are advancing that courts should not step in is a fallacious argument. We can't have that argument. When they do 2G, we like it. When they pronounce Ram Mandir, we like it. But when they are saying that there are shortages, we get antsy and say, why is the court taking up the matter? So I, for one, am grateful that the court is taking up the matter. And second point, I don't want to enter into whether Kejriwal is to be blamed for a change or whether Tehseen Pulawala's arguments are not good because he is doing good job in this. The point is, one of the points the courts have raised is Section 92 of the Patents Act, that is compulsory licensing because we are facing vaccination shortages. Israel has done it. Germany, France have brought in laws which will enable them to take over patents. I am not saying do that or don't do that. The court has not said it. The court has only given the option that since there are shortages, since some states are saying that we don't have vaccines and we can't start the program, however you have to compensate the private sector which made it, and you have to because they are doing innovation and development. But we need to step into this beyond this tu meh because people are dying in real time. That is the problem our nation is facing. We can't have this blame game. We can't do this. And second point, as to the price of vaccines, of course it has to be the same price for everybody. How can we have differential pricing for people in the same country? Both these points, I think, and I'm sure the government will take on board because they have come from the Supreme Court, and we will have a positive reaction. We have one price and we have massive improvement of how we are supplying vaccinations, whether it is by supplying money, whether it is by compulsory license, or whatever the means it is, so that every citizen gets safe. That is the basic priority we all must have.
That is the point. And Nupur Sharma, there is nobody else who can answer this except the center. Why should the center? You think it was the manufacturer who set the price at 150 rupees when the center first acquired vaccines from these manufacturers, both Bharat Biotech and Serum Institute of India? If they can force these manufacturers to supply them at 150 rupees, then why should the same price not be available to the people living in states, and that should be the price that they should be paying for the same vaccines? If the government has to subsidize these manufacturers for their expansion plans, for their return on their investments, then that is the government's duty to do. After all, there is a 35,000 crore budget that has been set aside for vaccinating the whole country. In fact, you have used this as a poll plank promise in Bihar. It started with Bihar कि हम सबको फ्री वैक्सीन देंगे. अरे भाई, फ्री वैक्सीन देंगे बिहार में जहां हम पावर में आएंगे, और जहां हम पावर में नहीं आएंगे वहां के लोग मर जाएं. क्यों? वो इंडिया के सिटीजन्स नहीं है? और क्या सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट और पार्लियामेंट्री इलेक्शंस में प्रधानमंत्री के इलेक्ट करने की प्रक्रिया में वो शामिल नहीं है? आई वांट टू आस्क यू दिस. आई वांट टू अपील टू योर कॉन्शियंस, नुपुर शर्मा, on why you would take an arbitrary decision of giving this responsibility so magnanimously to the states which have no control either over production or over the pricing.
Well, I'm sorry, neither do we. The only difference is I'll be repeating at the cost of repeating myself that the center is not actually fixing the price. The center is negotiating. And if anybody from the opposition parties has given a cursory read as to the decentralized and accelerated policy of vaccination, they know they can not only negotiate with the companies, they can also use CSR funds to fund these very vaccines. You are right, Navika, when you say 35,000 crores for the vaccination drive. Well, that also brings to forth a government which actually has 50 crores earmarked for vaccination, but has 50 crores a month, 50 crores in total earmarked for vaccination, and 50 crores a month only for advertising. For that matter, I'm sorry, why were the state governments were repeatedly writing to the central government, give us control? 4 VCs, just with the Prime Minister of the Chief Ministers, give us control when the NDMA was in place, when the Unlock 1 procedure started in July 2020. 4 VCs just to say, we want economic control, our economies are suffering, we want to decide when to put lockdown because our economies are suffering, people are suffering, we want. And I'll tell you what, 8th April itself, the Delhi government has written to the central government, we want it this way, we want it that way. Well, you want, then please, The 50% is not going to come to my house or your house, Navika, or to DDU Marg. It is going to go back to states. For that matter, these very states who are complaining today were the first people to chest beat. Maharashtra, opposition party state, was the first to say 1 crore vaccination, first state to vaccinate 1 crore people. And Delhi, first duty to vaccinate 1 lakh people a day. First
well, let me get in Tehseen Poonawalla. Tehseen Poonawalla, I want to ask you this question. You know, part of what Nupur is saying is right, which is that it was the clamor from the states that they wanted independence. Now you have the independence, still you are training your guns at the center. Well, I don't agree with her, but that is the argument. And you, of all people, supporting the Congress party cannot really complain about that attitude, because that's exactly the attitude that you gave. In fact, what about the Supreme Court? Dushwant Dave, what did he say? Unjustified move by the Supreme Court restrains high courts from discharging their own duty. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, senior advocate, will have paralyzing ill effect on high court observations. Vivek Tankha, high courts should be allowed to monitor at micro level. Sanjay Hegde, decision likely to undermine the efforts of high courts. Today, the same Supreme Court is sounding so good. Everybody is quoting from what the Supreme Court has said, simply because it suits your politics, not because it is raising questions of the Janta, but it suits your politics. Isn't it, Tessie?
I'm not here for tutu meme. With the greatest respect to you, I just want to ask some questions which you've put out very pertinently. First of all, my tributes to everybody who's lost their lives, and just some questions, ma'am. Others a very dear friend, but I have got to ask some questions. When the central government was negotiating with Aadhar or with Bharat Biotech with regards to the pricing, as Ishkaran put it absolutely rightly, why couldn't they negotiate it for all center and state that this would be a price? For example, ma'am, today if you go to buy even a paracetamol, there's a maximum retail price on it for Crocin or whatever paracetamol. So why wasn't the maximum retail price set for this vaccine? Second thing, ma'am, in December 2020, the Pfizer people, who I'm very close to, as well as Moderna, they applied for permission in India. Now, phase 1, phase 2, their trials were done. Their trials were peer reviewed. Why was permission not given to them in December? Had we given Pfizer and Moderna permission in December, today more people would have been vaccinated, and perhaps the youngsters who are dying today would not have died, because today in this particular phase, a lot of youngsters are dying. We've seen some colleagues, ma'am. So the fact of the matter is that these were mistakes made only by the central government. Now, for my third question, I'm going to put something personal out. T.S. Singh Yoda. I'm sorry.
I have to intervene there. These were not mistakes made only by the center. May I remind you of a certain individual, belonging to the party that you support, and you are the son-in-law of. That party is the Congress party. And Shehzad Poonawalla, can you please?
I'm not the son-in-law of any party.
Chaliye, you are the brother-in-law of the damad of the party. All right, fine, but Shehzad Poonawalla, इनको जरा याद तो करा दीजिए कि मनीष तिवारी जी ने क्या कहा था. They are making Indians the guinea pigs. They are bringing in these vaccines. No. 1 minute. Now you wait for your turn. Shehzad Poonawalla, has he forgotten all that was said?
Navika, first of all, it's a very somber mood. We have lost many people who, especially from the same industry, Rohit Sardana and Soli Sarabji, and also Dadi Tomar. But therefore, I don't want to shout and engage in a slanging match, but I hope people will listen to what I'm saying. Between 5th of January to 23rd of April, between these 2 dates, there are 20 occasions where the Prime Minister himself, the Health Minister, or the central government, either through letter or through statements by the Prime Minister, through the Prime Minister's meetings, either alerted the states that the second wave was coming, rushed a central team, started the vaccination program. Prime Minister took the vaccination himself, reiterated a 5-point program, took meetings with the oxygen suppliers, with industry heads, with manufacturers of medicine, medicines, with doctors and others. Now, I want to ask you, what was the opposition doing between these 2 days? Between these 2 days, let me remind you, Rahul Gandhi, who later on took a moral high ground, was busy campaigning in Kerala, doing push-ups and pull-ups, going into the ocean. His leaders, like you rightly said, were busy saying that Bharat Biotech Covaxin is not safe. We are guinea pigs. They, in fact, said that our states will not take this vaccine. This includes Shashi Tharoor and Jairam Ramesh. You had the likes of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, who did not spend a single rupee of the COVID relief for COVID relief, but he, in fact, spends that money for advertising, and every day the money he spends can be used for 75,000 oxygen cylinders. In fact, they did not even make the 40,000 beds they promised in 2015. They did not start any hospital. They did not do the site locations for the 8 PSAs which the High Court has pulled them up for. In fact, they did not even give clarity to the oxygen suppliers like Inox to which hospitals they are supposed to supply. And on the vaccine front, these people were the same ones who were demanding that, oh, the BJP government at the center is discriminating and therefore you should allow us to directly negotiate with the manufacturers so we can take the vaccine as much as we want. And when that was done, now they crib about it that it is not vaccine distribution, it is discrimination. I want to ask Tehseen Poonawalla, he is making such a ridiculous argument. Can anybody go and say that we want vaccines for entire India? It would take at least 1.6 billion vaccines. Does any manufacturer have the capacity to manufacture that vaccine? And that 100 million vaccines deal was done with the central government because central government invested 3,000 crores in the vaccine manufacturers and therefore it was given at a rate of 150, which by the way those 16 crore vaccines were given for free to the states. And then for the center and the states, there's the same price, but they keep going on dual pricing. Are kahan ka dual pricing? This is a central rate that was given by the vaccine manufacturers to all central governments who were pitching in at that time when nobody was willing to take the risk.
Respond, Tehseen Poonawalla. Respond, Tehseen Poonawalla, because it's a very valid point. After all, the 16 crore vaccines that have been given so far for free by the center to all the states are actually for the people of India. The center is not a physical entity. In fact, all these vaccines have been distributed across India to people in the age group first above 60 and then above 45, and they've gone to people in these states as well. So why only point fingers? Why doesn't every state government put their money where their mouth is and also supplement? The government at the center is still going to give 50% of the vaccines to states. Are baki ka 50% you can create your own funds, you can get your corporates, you can get CSR funds, you can negotiate, you can do so many things. Why only political blame game is the question, Mr. Tehseen Poonawalla.
Please allow me to answer. Don't interrupt me. I'll answer. There are 2 parts to your question. Part number 1, the point Shehzad conveniently did not answer. Why in December was Pfizer and Moderna not allowed? Had they been allowed, more people would have been vaccinated. Less deaths would have happened. That's been left out. Now to your question, ma'am. Look, today, a day before yesterday, T.S. Singh Georgie called me. He said, can you speak to others? But they don't have capacity to manufacture and give further. I am not blaming center. I am asking a question. When Narendra Modi ji of the center gave 3,000 crore rupees to Serum and to Bharat Biotech, that was Shehzad, yours and my money. Why didn't he then put a price cap like a MRP is on Flocin, on paracetamol, on Disprin, on Vicks inhaler? There's an MRP. We could have put an MRP on vaccine, thereby ensuring more people got it. Number 2, why wasn't more people below the age group of 45 allowed to be vaccinated? When on your show, I was mocked saying a second wave is coming. Anand Ranganathan was there. Youngsters need to be vaccinated. Today, so many youngsters are dying. Those 2 decisions are...
Well, you were mocked. Why did you not advise Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who was jumping into the ocean? Why are you blaming only Modi for going to West Bengal? Why didn't you advise Mr. Bhupesh Baghel? Why didn't you advise Mr. Ashok Gehlot to get their house in order for all of this? It's very well. Well, I'm not saying, Tehseen Poonawalla, that the center does not have its own questions to answer. Yes. People have been let down, and they have been let down fairly and squarely, both by state governments and the center. And I want to bring in Riju Datta. Riju Datta, I want to ask you, when you people go in for election rallies, when you contest against, everybody comes out and says, we are the party that is going to look after the people of our state. What happens when it comes to issues like vaccination? Isn't that part of looking after of the people of your state? Why are there so many objections? Modi vaccine, Modi नहीं लेके दे रहा. अरे आपका तो मोदी को कुछ चाहिए ही नहीं आपको. आप दीजिए. You are fighter Didi. You are a fighter Trinamool Congress. You give. You are a better party. You have governed West Bengal for 10 years. Why can't you make the provision and have a new idea which the center cannot deliver? Why don't you show to the people that you can do better than what the center can? Why, sir?
Thank you, Navika ji. First of all, before answering your question, I want to say my deepest and heartfelt condolence to the family of Mr. Rohit Sardana. I was on his shows just a couple of days ago, so it's very shocking to me. And I also want to categorically say that on social media, the people who are bad-mouthing a person who cannot defend himself, for whatever reason, they are the lowest of the low. And I question their humanity. Now, jumping into your question,
I agree with you 200% because there are people who are now looking at political leanings of a journalist and instead of condoling the family, they are labeling the journalist in various political hues, and that is so very unfortunate. I condemn it. And even as we are looking and feeling the loss of Rohit Sardana, looking at his family and feeling their pain, we are also feeling the pain of lakhs of others who are suffering from the disease and many of whom have lost their friends and family members to this disease. And that's why I'm asking Riju Datta, why is there no spirit of cooperation?
Ma'am, thank you for the opportunity. What is proactive action? Proactive action is today the government of West Bengal has issued an order to break the chain, to break the further spread. Even though we are in a much better state, we are closing all public places, all public gatherings, everything until further notice. This is called proactive action, ma'am. And the topic of the debate, the narrative of the debate, when you asked me a question about vaccine, do I need to remember you, which I have been shouting about, that on 24th February, our CM, before the elections were even announced, has wrote a letter to the PMO saying, give us a chance to buy it directly from the manufacturer at the behest of the state exchequer. But that was denied. Abhi aap bol rahe ho kharido, and the manufacturers are not. Can I finish, Navika ji, please? Now Yes, Navika ji, now when we are, placing an order, the manufacturers are not taking orders because they're completely tied up. They are not manufacturing as the capacity. Now the central government is dancing, saying we are vaccinating 1 million people per day. But at that rate, it will take 3 years to vaccinate this country. Now, the Supreme Court, I will only take 2 points what the Supreme Court did, the way the Supreme Court reprimanded the central government. And the 2 key points is, number 1, there should not be any ban on social media. And this is the high time for the central BJP government to understand that dissent does not mean sedition. And second most important point is what the Supreme Court pointed out, that the vaccines that are manufactured in India, are sold at foreign countries at a cheaper price than India, which is costing the Indian fund extra 30 to 40,000 crores. Why? They are being manufactured in India, they are sold at a cheaper price to foreign countries and at a higher. In Delhi, Covaxin will be administered from tomorrow in Apollo and 40
very important questions raised by Riju Datta. Very important questions raised by Riju Datta. And I must say that anybody putting out an SOS call, because these are hapless common people, you call up a hospital, you call up 10 hospitals, you call up nodal officers on nodal desks, and the phone lines keep ringing, nobody answers your call. Hospitals just tell you bed nahi hai, ICU nahi hai, oxygen nahi hai, and you don't know what to do. And what's happening? The community, civil society is coming together, helping each other, using social media. You'll begin to put one of those issues as a fake SOS, which actually makes people panicky, and therefore you'll put people in jail. Nupur Sharma, that's unacceptable in a democracy.
Second, the observations of nodal officers, DSOs and district magistrates and God knows what all not answering has been made both by the Delhi High Court and also in passing by the Supreme Court for the Delhi government officials. Point number two, I'm sorry, what the UP government has decided to do, I will answer for that. This is not a central government thing that bans social media. If you did not hear the Solicitor General properly, he said, I completely agree with the Honorable Supreme Court. But only today, Navika, I'll tell you, I had people who have nothing to do with politics, media or anything call me up and say they've been fleeced of lakhs of rupees on the promise of a concentrator which doesn't even work. What do? Should you not actually take action against hoarders, black marketing people? Should you actually not take action against people who are actually milking a tragedy, milking the pandemic?
Completely
of course, there are laws in place to do that. Point number three, Riju, speak when you're spoken to. Riju, please, on your turn.
Put them behind bars.
Riju, please, on your turn. Now, as for Tehseen, Pfizer and Moderna initially showed disinterest. I'll answer everybody's question. You have to give me my time. Tehseen, Pfizer and Moderna both showed disinterest. Only earlier this month, they both said, Moderna said we have our hands full, and Pfizer is told by Dr. Randeep Guleria. I'm quoting from the print. I'm quoting from your favorite.
You're lying on national
No, I'm sorry. I'm lying, and print is also lying. No, Ajay, print is also lying. No, print is also lying. This is print. This is print article. Print is also lying. Print is also lying. Pfizer actually, Dr. Randeep Guleria said they first applied for approval under the SEC. Tehseen, please allow me to finish.
No,
Tehseen, please allow me to finish.
You are misleading.
Tehseen, please. Story पकड़ी गई तो no. Story पकड़ी गई तो no. तुम्हारा print है. तुम्हारा favorite website है. उसको quote कर रही हूँ 15th April 2021. And let me tell you, Navika, as far as Pfizer is concerned, Dr. Randeep Guleria came on your show and categorically stated that Pfizer first applied and then withdrew the application for whatever reasons they would be knowing. For that matter, today, Tehseen needs to answer.
Well, all I want to say, Ishkaran Bhandari wants to come in. Ishkaran Bhandari, I have just 10 seconds. तू मैं everybody says हमें नहीं करना, हमें लोगों को help करना, but at the end of the day, what you hear is only तू मैं. Ishkaran Bhandari.
I have just 10 seconds. I will just say this much.
What do common people?
Thankfully, I don't belong to any political party. Of course, various states messed up. Of course, center also messed up. Let us admit that and now get on to solving the problem rather than saying center did this wrong, state this wrong. There are shortages of oxygen and bed. Of course,
completely agree with you. Vaccination is the only way we can protect the people of this country. And if our vaccine strategy is not in place, then I think states and center need to sit together. They need to keep their concurrent lists and center and state lists completely aside and look at this as a national crisis. It's a national health crisis. And what we need is our netas who have been chosen with our votes, who come back to each one of us citizens for seeking votes every 5 years. Well, it's time for them to deliver, because it is the common man that is losing lives. It is our colleagues, our friends, our family that is struck with this calamity. And each one of you in the Neta class will have to think about this as if it's happening to you, your friends, your family. Until you feel the pain of the common man, you're not going to be able to come together. Which is what the Janta is saying. Acha, nahi pata tha pehle, you could not predict that there was a second wave, or you were looking elsewhere, you were busy with something else. All that is fine, it's in the past, we will do the post-mortem later. The fact of the matter is, today every single state needs to stand shoulder to shoulder with the center, because they have a job at hand which they are accountable for. And they have to save lives and have a vaccination policy and get up an infrastructure that is all set to save lives rather than cost lives. And that is something that the Supreme Court had to intervene to just remind the stakeholders. And that really is a sad commentary of what we are seeing from those who should have been actually giving us, governing us, and giving us the administration we can rely on. We're waiting for the accountability, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much to my panelists for joining me on debate number 1. Debate number 2 and the hiccups in the vaccine policy coming up on the other side.